Hello,
Hello.
Timur.
Hi.
Hi, nice to see you. How are you
See you
doing?
too. Good. Good. Everything is good. Preparing to start production soon when we
And
allowed.
you are in the offices.
Yeah.
So you spent all the quarantine in Varese. That's correct.
Yes. Yes. I spent all the quarantine here next to the factory to make sure that all our workers and their families are safe and everything is good and this crisis are not affecting anyone who involved with NV. NV is a big family. You know, we are about 250 people. So I think it's not very difficult to make sure that everyone is happy and safe.
Yeah. And how did you spend in the meantime apart work? Because of course a lot of activities went on, let's say in a normal way. But how did you spend the free time back at home since you were stuck in Varese?
I brought my kids and my wife from London because London also right now and was very affected,
Yes.
actually still very affected. And we just spent time cooking, reading books, and watching cartoons with kids.
Yes, I know what you mean. I have two and a lot of cartoons in this winter.
That's the only way to occupy them.
Yes,
Otherwise,
at the end.
they drive everyone crazy. It's insane.
Yes. We received really a lot of questions, and if you want, we can just go through all of them because there are for sure some interesting points, and we can start from some of them.
Yeah, ask me anything.
Okay. So the first was from Eric, and it's very personal. I think it's interesting. Is passion something needed, or is a weakness to manage MV Agusta?
You know, it's a blessing and a curse. It's a good question, and thank you, Eric, for that. This company was always driven by passion, and that's one of the reasons why MV Agusta always been successful in making an impression, but was very unsuccessful to follow up on it. So that's why one of the hardest tasks, even for myself, because you know when you dive into MV world, it's very difficult to control your passion. But for sure, passion needs to be tamed. It needs to be on the leash because otherwise it's impossible to compete with other brands that right now are very mechanical or very, I would say, very soulless. A lot of them that doesn't, you know, they're very industrial. And we have they still have this personal touch, and it's still a craftsmanship
Yes,
product.
of course. The second one is from Mr. Minde, but I don't know if it's the true name. What's the bike you ride and you own personally?
Turismo Veloce. It's my favorite bike of MV, and I'm can't wait to ride Brutale 1000. It just went into production in February.
Third one. What will be the future look like for MV Agusta? What's your touch and your vision on that?
MV Agusta will expand very carefully into the different sort of mobility, because right now the world is evolving, and motorcycle industry need to adapt to the new environment, especially what's happened in the recent 3 months of this year. So it's a very challenging task to make sure a traditional brand is expanding in the correct way, but you know, paying attention to what's happening. So MV Agusta will expand into lower segment of the market in terms of the power and price, and also to the different mobility solutions, you know, like scooters and bicycles and everything else.
Yeah,
but scooters, not scooters, push scooters.
Yes.
I don't want to be confusing. Yeah.
One coming to expanding, since we received this question from one of the users here right now, any chance for an expanded dealer network in the US?
We just took over our distributor. So we now, from February, we own the company that distributes us. And we have put a very robust strategy to expand our presence in US. US is a very important market, and to make sure we serve our clients accordingly. For me, serviceability and the quality of the network and the quality of after sale is #1 priority right now.
Yeah. And this is something that was honestly the subject from different existing customers. So in fact, the next questions were about this, the ones we selected. What happens with old owners? I mean, this is quite generic, but I think that every single owner of MV is asking about what's in it for him.
You talk about the owner of the company or the owner of the bikes?
No, old owners of the bikes, I guess.
What does it mean? What happens with the? I don't understand the question.
I don't know, expectation maybe in terms of service. It was quite generic, honestly, but.
Well, listen, every single owner of MV produced at any time from 75 years ago it's our client, and we are listening everyone, and we can make sure that every single owner is serviced in the right way. So reach out to us, reach out to your dealer, put the requests, and we will assist every single request in any possible way.
And one other question in terms of existing, let's say, new bikes, is MV evaluating to extend the warranty for bikes purchased in this first part of 2020?
Yes, for sure. We will extend, so the last 2 or whatever months will be, your country will be on lockdown, will be cancelled from your warranty.
I go with another one from Thanos. Is there a possibility of a new and bigger sport touring bike?
It's coming. Well, coming. The big evolution of product range will happen between 22 and 23. So 2022 and 2023, because then the new standard of Euro 5B is coming on board, and then we're a lot of products. We're adding a lot of products. We're investing heavily in R&D. We're developing 5 new models right now. And big Grand Touring bike is on the way.
And there was also different question about the new 950 engine, 3 cylinders. If you could tell something for Matteo.
We're building, we already finished. It's now in testing. Absolutely state-of-the-art 950. It's a true MV triple. That's very interesting in its performance. So, and it wasn't nothing like that is available on the market. Stay tuned. Coming soon.
And what would happen if EICMA get cancelled? Will MV still release new models and updates?
Yeah,
I guess
for
so.
sure. We are industrial company. We do long-term planning, so we will show it. I will probably present it in a dark room, like it's right now fashionable for all the automotive to do, in a hangar with no people, and masks and gloves, something like this. But new models are not cancelled now.
And this is, I think we can talk something about the Superveloce, because one of the questions was if we will continue with the Superveloce, or is it a one-off?
Superveloce, we're already assembling Superveloce, when we can. And from May, we're starting production of the standard Superveloce, not Oro. And you just go online and reserve one. It's very easy. You just go online, we have order Superveloce, and we will deliver it to you wherever you are.
Let me go through. This is another interesting one coming to new models. Why doesn't MV Agusta make more affordable motorcycles, and especially in the 300, 500 cc displacements?
We're working on two different platforms below 675. So within maximum 24 months, we'll come with a very, very exciting products that will be, in Via Augusta, what's challenging about in Via Augusta is not to be normal. In Via Augusta always break the tradition. It always come up with something very exciting. It's a game changer and everything. We did the first of a lot of things. From F4 to the latest Brutale 1000, we always change the paradigm of the segment. So when we come out with something in any product, it has to reflect that. So that's why, we don't want to make the same, for example, I don't say we're making it, but the same 300 cc as everyone else. We need to come up with something that it's the best. So that's where challenge is happening. So that's why, but it's all coming. So it will be something special.
It will not just be a, let's say, a price-based MV. Of course, it would not make sense, I think.
Sorry, something happened.
Yes. No, I mean, it will not just be an entry level to compete on price with other mainstream brands.
No. In Via Augusta was always, stay premium. So we don't want to let down our customers, our collectors. It's always going to be our quality, our passion, our DNA. So whatever we do, it's always, and we constantly will improve it. So no worries about that. It's not going to be cheap in Via Augusta. It's going to be in Via Augusta that that will feel like MV, but right now it's important to reflect the modern state of the economy and the customers. And customers don't want to have 30,000 plus bikes anymore. They want to have a premium in a different segment. So it's a good example is Porsche. There are Porsche, expensive Porsche, and there are Porsche that, are more affordable. So that's why you can produce the best product in a different segment. It doesn't matter 200 cc, 300 cc, 400 cc, 500 cc, 1000 cc, because there are bikes of 1000 cc that less premium that 1000 cc from us, for example. The same we want to do in the different categories.
Yes, in the different categories. There are a few questions that came up in the last comments about parts and improvement of the network. And since it's also important for us, maybe we can tell a bit more about this, just to people just get in randomly and they saw request about in terms of after sales, since we are talking.
So after sales, again, reach out to your dealer. If there's any problem, you can always reach us through our website. We are reacting and we are responding to every single request. If you don't get the response from Via Augusta, you can write to me directly. So we are improving the network. This is my #1 priority. After sales support, the network is on my top of my list. Literally every day.
Okay, let me see if there are any other new question coming in. Oh, one that we had from Frank. When is the next generation F3 coming? What we can tell about this model?
Which one?
The F3. And also from Davide that commented here.
Okay, I just saw it. F3 is going to be a big changes to F3 next year. And then, the F3 will start getting different engine soon. But okay. This F3, from next year, almost 80% of our range is new already. So there's so many modifications the bikes right now are getting with the new Euro 5 regulation, to the platform, to the electronics, to emissions, to dynamics. That's, and also
Yeah,
styling
so
wise.
of course
You
the
also,
Euro 5 is the next big impact on our production after we switched from Euro 3 and to Euro 4. That
yeah.
provided a lot of
But
improvements.
Euro 3 to Euro 4 was not so radical in terms of the styling and the changes to the chassis to the vehicles that right now are coming with Euro 5A.
Okay. And there were also questions about the Rivale, which is, I think, one of the most original products from MV in the past years. I don't know about, maybe I don't know if it will come back to production, but what's your feeling about a product like the Rivale?
So hypermotor market, it's not very big, unfortunately. And MV Agusta did a lot of mistakes by releasing a very exciting, good-looking product, but without a proper strategy about it. And Rivale was a failed product. I'm not afraid to call it like this. Rivale and Stradale was one of the products that was beautiful and incredible, but they're not successful commercially. So that's why 2 years ago, we decided not to continue it anymore. And we will see how the market reacts. As we will see that, hypermotard market is picking up, we will come up with the products. But it's also important for MV to be real, because again, we live in this very connected society that we know exactly what others do. And it's easy for us to pick up the side, so we cannot experiment like the company did before with producing something that we don't know will sell or not. And Rivale was the product that the company invested a lot of money into, put a lot of effort and time, showed it to the market, delivered it to the network, and then the network stuck with it for a long time. And we don't want this to happen anymore.
One question which is quite out from our product range at the moment, but might be interesting to discuss and know your idea. When can we see a power cruiser from MV Agusta like the Rocket 3 or Ducati Diavel?
I mean, we are coming out again with something that people will be surprised. The customer will be surprised. We will, so I'm not sure about Rocket 3, but Rocket 3 is not coming from MV Agusta, but something special is coming.
Another question from right now, asking to bring back Brutale race and track parts.
What?
So special parts mainly.
Special parts.
Brutale race and track parts.
I don't know what this guy is talking about.
I think special parts, but maybe he doesn't know about the catalog we have online.
Yeah, we do have a catalog. We're constantly improving it, and now the first time in the history of MV, our design center is developing our new special kits, because before special kits was available from different producers, and we've been just taking it from different manufacturers and putting it on the bike. The problem with that is that MV Agusta is very special in terms of design. It's very easy to ruin it. So, we made a decision to make sure that every single special part and kit, and from next year also in apparel and clothing, is designed by our own design center. So it fits the style, because MV Agusta is very, how to say, it's a really motorcycle art. There's no brand like this. And it's not really works well when you just take different parts from different manufacturers and you put it on top of it. It's important that we keep the style and keep the DNA.
Yeah. This is from someone that I guess is riding a different Italian bike, let's say. Will you ever make a V4 engine?
No, we're not. We have a brand new, 80% brand new inline 4 that we believe for our application are incredible, and it's in some cases better than V4. So we don't need to bring another heavy heavy engine like this. Why? Just because
Yeah.
it's called V4? You know, we have a four-cylinder engine. It works perfectly.
One question from Revela Moto, who is following the live, and I think he listened to the previous discussion about the Euro 5. What do you mean that there will be a lot of changes in the looks of the bikes? I guess it's if it's much more technical related or style related to.
Some of they related technical, some of they related styling wise. You know, so all the three-cylinder bikes are getting mild styling upgrades. All of the bikes get the new electronics, new exhausts, and etc. So a lot of changes. And obviously, technically, it's becoming completely new.
Yes,
new
because
platforms.
of the regulation.
Before the regulation, noise, emissions, there's a lot.
Since we are, it seems at least that the situation in Italy is getting better. Do you think we can say something at this time to how we are facing the comeback into the production, mainly because all the other processes went on in the meantime, but from really new bikes and also some question where generically speaking about seeing the bikes when the bikes will be ready for delivery. Some Brutale 1000 RR customer are starting to, of course, ask about this. What is your feeling about the situation and the possibility of reopening the factory?
So there are multiple issues. The problem is that, you know, we as a manufacturer, we have a very complicated supply chain. We have over 260 suppliers all over the world. Majority of them, about 70%, in Italy. So, you know, and we dependent on that, but also 30% coming from Asia. And the Asia started to get this coronavirus in January. So, you know, we are now feeling the chain effect or the ripple effect of that virus. So we are starting production beginning of May, but I think it will be disrupted because of naturally, again, many suppliers have financial difficulties. Many suppliers have issues with sending, with employees, with safety, with ability to restart worldwide. So this is the problem on supply side. So we believe that we will be able to stabilize by if everything is good, and again, the safety right now of public is #1 priority anywhere. But if everything will be great and we will start in May, first week of May, let's assume end of June, beginning of July, we'll start, you know, producing in a stable way our plan. In terms of the deliveries, it's another problem because the borders right now are closed, the dealers right now are closed, and also depends country by country. When this will all open up, we'll be able to deliver to our customers. And then in terms of providing the safety for our workers and our family members that work in MV, we started doing this in the beginning of February already, and right now probably we'll introduce more social distancing, so we have enough space and we'll be able to do it, to protect it. For sure, it's a priority.
One very direct question that team sent right now. What are the plans for MV Agusta in Canada? Since we discussed about the US, I think we can also speak a bit of it.
Listen, I love Canada, so I would love to. I traveled a lot there, a lot of Canadian friends. I would like to bring MV Agusta to Canada. If he can suggest someone, definitely will contact. If you think there's a good dealer that we should reach out to, let me know. Let us know.
Plans for another RVS?
Yes, next year we're gonna have RVS 2.
I think that he got an answer quite clearly. I don't see much more any other question. Is there any topic you think it's relevant in this moment for our customers that are following the live right now?
Listen, not really. Just for right now, the most important is to maintain the regulation that the government imposing on everyone. I know it's annoying. I know it's dangerous. Not dangerous, scary. But I think we're all gonna go through this, and we're gonna come out in a better world. And biking right now gonna become more relevant rather than public transport. So it's better to go on a bicycle or scooter or bike and feel connected with the world and feel in some cases even distant from everyone, but still connected and be closer to the environment.
It might come out like in 1945 when MV Agusta, after the Second World War, was launching for the Italian people new bikes, and it was the boom in Italy literally of a motorcycle industry. So
but I know that some people maybe think I'm crazy, but I was very vocal about it. I believe that a motorcycle industry, or generally two-wheel mobility, will have a boost after that, because motorcycle is much easier and bike is much easier thing to own. If you live in a city, it's a cheaper product. It's not a car, that takes space and actually pollute more as well. Bike is very friendly to the environment, and I believe that motorcycle industry will recover much quicker than everything else, like automotive, like sharing and everything. It's taxis and
yes.
Public transport will be impacted quite radically after this.
I just wanted to let Tim that I will reach out with a message to him so we can see for this Canadian market and get his advice on that. Just one last one. We already discussed this quickly, but will MV enter the adventure segment? And again, from Panoscon just 1 second ago, news about the 950cc engine.
950cc engine, as I already said, is coming on board. It will be available. I think in 22 we start production, and then we're gonna have different products with that engine. So we'll have 800, 950, we'll have 1000, and then we'll have 2 new engines and the platforms on lower than 800. So that's why it's coming. Regarding the adventure bike, it's an interesting question, and we'll see. It's again, we're developing 5 new products, and I think you can guess if it's a good decision for MV to do adventure or not. Judge for yourself.
Question from Gabriele. Will MV Agusta return in MotoGP?
Boy, I answered this question many times. Being a brand that won the most amount of MotoGPs, and I think we're the most we're most awarded brand in Italy with MotoGP wins. That happened before my birth, but still the story is the story. You cannot take it away from that. Right now, MotoGP is a big distraction. It's a big distraction for all companies. It's a big distraction of capital, of engineers, of employees, of everyone, of workers, everyone. So my number 1 priority is to make sure that MV Agusta is financially stable. It's a good partner to have. It represents the good ethics. It serves the client very well. It delivers the right product that excites the public, that it's competitive. And when I get to the position when the comments right now that improve the service and quality and service network and things like that will disappear, then we're going to talk about MotoGP.
Yeah. From Jason, MV Agusta will produce a motorbike in A2, so limited power. I think the
35
licenses.
What, 35 kilowatt?
Yes, exactly. And
Yes, we will.
This might be interesting. What is the biggest challenge for Asian market, especially for Indonesian market?
The price, because we need to do CKD, so we need to do an assembly in the region, and also we need to do assembly with a certain amount of parts coming from the Asian suppliers. And the problem with MV is that the quality, we want to control the assembly ourselves here. That's on one side. On another side, we are not big enough to build the factory to assemble ourselves in Asia. So we are looking at it. We are right now launched the study where we should build a factory. Maybe it will be Indonesia, maybe it will be Thailand, maybe it will be India, to service the industry or to service the client in the correct way. So I would say the number one problem for us to sell in Oceania, it's called Oceania region is the taxes, because our bikes are very expensive there. And that's the biggest barrier that I also I'm working on making sure that we overcome that problem too.
Yeah, and being competitive, of course.
Yeah.
One question about TFT displays, because the new Brutale and Superveloce has now the second generation TFT, and a lot of people were asking in the past about Brutale and Dragster, which are our still top products in the range.
Listen, I get this question a lot too. To be honest, you know, when you're riding the Dragster or Brutale, you don't need to have more information that you get from our monochrome displays that we get right now. Yes, it's a bit outdated. Yes, it's not as fancy as our competitors, but in the end of the day, it's fully informative. And right now, a lot of modern bikes still have an arrows. They don't even have, you know, they still have the analog displays or analog speedometers. So from next year, we're gonna move to TFT, everything. But to be honest, the TFT takes more space. It's bulkier than the current screen on Brutale and Dragster. But again, if you want, we're getting it. We will move it because, again, everyone wanted, but I don't really get it why. You don't really look much at the different data. You need RPM. When you ride a naked bike, you need RPM and speed. That's all you need.
Yep.
Because you need to concentrate on the road.
I think with that.
I'm sorry. When you go touring, yeah, you need to have navigation. You need to have more real. You are more relaxed in terms of reading reading your screen. But when you ride naked, it's a different game. You're on the road, and the road is very close to you, and everything changes very fast, especially with the Augusta bikes.
One question from Salvatore. In future, will we see a standard version of Brutale 1000?
Yes, you will.
Let's see if we have not really much more. There were a lot of questions about F4, but we know.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that I keep seeing F4.
Yeah.
All right, so F4. Due to MV Augusta, before my arrival, was in crisis for whatever 3 years. You know, MV didn't really have any money to dedicate to develop the high performance sport bike. So, and developing a high performance sport bike need to take more time. You know, our competitors spent 5-6 years developing products like that, and you know, right now modern hyper bikes are excellent. You know, from Honda to Ducati, everyone is the product is amazing. So MV will come up with a 4, but not earlier than 5 years from now. And we're now evaluating what kind of bike it should be, because 5 years from now is quite far away using all the technologies that right now coming on board. So will it be electric? Will it be hybrid? Will it be still combustion? Please, write us in comments what you think, because it's very hard right now with the current state of technology is to plan way in advance. Because a lot of people right now have the war between electric and combustion, and everyone is asking the same question: when are we going to be electric? And I'm saying, 5-6 years from now, and maybe F4 will be something that will be fully electric, but not earlier than 24, maybe even 25.
Okay, I think this was the most asked, and we answered. So I don't know. I don't have much more. I was scrolling through the comments and see if there were something else, but if we don't have any other question, I think we can send an appointment for the other lives we will have in the next weeks, and for sure again with you maybe in some weeks to know how the things are
going. I'm keen to do this type of session regularly, so let's set it up. I'm always free to talk. I don't need to be prepared. I can answer all your questions, so shoot all the questions you want and I will answer them.
Okay. Thank you for this live, and I think the final message for all of the customers and lovers out there is just to stay safe for the time being, and be ready to go back on their MVs.
Absolutely, guys. Stay safe, and till next time.
Thank you, Timur.
Cheers.
See you soon.